करेगा, ठीक है?
जी
Oh,
हो गया
yeah.
है। चल
Who is doing?
I'm doing
Who is? Okay, that's great.
okay now hello, assalamu alaikum and good evening to everyone and a very warm welcome to all. I hope you all are doing well today. Today is Thursday, 15th September 2022, and we are gathered here on this informal session of ICOM Family Forum. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sana Durrani. I'm a visual artist and art conservationist from Lahore, Pakistan, specialized in the field of painting conservation since over 5 years now on different projects, including Alhambra Art Museum and August Shoft painting restoration project with the Hungarian Embassy. Recently, I've also graduated from ICROM, Pharmacology and Cultural Heritage Administration of Korea's course named Rethinking Disaster Risk Management for Cultural Heritage Collections. I will be moderating today's session. Thank you so much all for joining us, and I'm so glad to see you all here. And I would like to now introduce our guest speaker for today, Professor Dr. Munazza Rashid, who is a brilliant visual artist, a sculptor, and an academic person with 25 years of teaching experience in the field of art and design. As for her background, she got honors in BFA from National College of Arts with major in sculpture and minor in painting. She's also a scholarship holder while doing PhD from the Punjab University, Lahore. Dr. Munazza has taught at various institutes. Among them are National College of Arts and College of Art and Design, University of Punjab, where she has taught different subjects, for example, sculpture, drawing, basic design, and history of art. She had a very interesting journey where her keen interest and passion for arts made her produce some interesting sculptures. And she has also worked as a dean at the University of Art and Culture at Jamshoro. So Ms. Munazza has been spearheading many projects, which she's going to talk about in today's session. So I would like to welcome Dr. Munazza. Dr. Munazza, welcome to this informal session. And after reading your bio, I'm really excited to know more about your journey so far. So can you please tell us something about yourself first, your hometown, your family, and then we will move on. Over to you, Dr. Munazza.
Thank you so much, Javed Saab and Sana, for providing me this opportunity. And I also welcome Uzma Bhatti here. I can see you. So I'm purely Lahori. My parents belongs to Lahore, and I born and brought up in Lahore. But my father was an engineer in Saudi Arabia, so I have spent my childhood in Saudi Arabia. But my schooling is still from Pakistan, and I did high school and FA from the Azam Garrison School and College. And after that, straight away, I went to National College of Arts, and later on, after few years, I went to Punjab University to complete PhD. And in between, I've been teaching, working, and doing some other things like that. Bio, if you want to ask anything else, you may ask.
Well, I think
cut gaya.
Little distortion. I wanted to start this discussion by knowing about you, your hometown, your family, and as you have already told us about your hometown and everything. Can you please also elaborate what was the motivational source which inspired you to become an artist?
I think I would not say that I wanted to become an artist since childhood, but later on I realized that I have some, inclination towards art, because I used to make drawings and paintings and craft type of things since my childhood. And I remember one of the projects that I made cattle and cups out of chalks, the chalks which we used to write on the board. And then I made the kettle and the handle with the paper in that and redecorated it. And one of my cousins who was quite elder to me, and she said, can I take it home? Then I realized that I did something really precious, that she is going to take it as a gift or as a souvenir or as a remembrance, something like that. Then I used to make a few drawings which I used to paste on the walls, and otherwise we were not allowed, or nobody was allowed to put anything on the wall, and my mother did not allow even to paste the stickers on the walls and on the doors. But now I remember that she did not stop me. I realized these things very, very late in life, but because unfortunately the environment which we live in, we I think we don't find people around us who can really tell us. The time has changed now, but during our time there was nobody to tell us that in which direction you are supposed to go. And I think it was all accidental, or maybe it was destined like that. So I proceeded in that way. So and while doing FA, I took fine arts as a subject. And then, but I never thought of going to NCA or Punjab University. Things were not that easy at that time, as I remember, because there was no, there was no internet, and you can just come to know about things through a word of mouth. And if you are lucky, if you find somebody to guide you, only then you can set your direction and you can lead yourself towards that.
All right.
Yes.
So I would also like to know about the definition of art according to you, as you told us, and I'm also going to lead this discussion to your challenges you have faced in your career and everything. But before that, what kind of art do you portray, and what is the transformation that you have faced during the journey?
Oh, this is really a very interesting question, Sana. And I was expecting
It just
this
came to
from
my
you.
mind.
I was expecting this from you. I don't know why, but I was. So, art is a way of life for me. And art is that what you are, and what I produce, I want to produce which is really near to my heart, or what I feel about things. Because as I shared the artist statement with you, I'm mentioning here that art is some of my work is representational and some of my work is non-representational. I further elaborate for those who are not from the art background. Representational means that where you find things or where you objects in art, and then you can relate to them. When you will see my work, then you will realize it more, that what I'm talking about. But sometimes what a vegetable means to me, or what an object means to me, I really want to elaborate that. And there is some kind of message behind it. That can be a personal message, that can be a public message, that can, or somebody can relate to it when, if somebody has experienced in that way. So what I look around, I try to make it the part of the art. As we are living in the world where there is nothing new, and everything, everything is in the access. You just Google anything and you find so many solutions. You can find so many ideas. In our time, it wasn't like that. It was very difficult, and we just had access to the books. And during vacations, I remember that even during vacations, we could not find any book, or or libraries were not supposed to lend us the books during vacations, that maybe we will, throw them away, or they will be torn, or whatever. So here I would say that it's the whole journey of my life, what I want to show in my work. And there are some commercial projects as well, because you wait a minute, which is better, because there was no electricity here and we were facing some problem. So back to the point that I have done some commercial projects as well, but during these commercial projects, I try to leave my trademark as a sculptor or as an artist, that that what I am contributing to and what I'm experiencing through it, and somebody can find it out that I have done it with my heart. I think I have explained it well. If something is missing, you may reconnect it. You can ask, and you can you feel free to ask anything or anybody.
All right. So can you please elaborate what are the topics? I mean, I'm sure that you're going to show it during your presentation, but what are the topics you target or the concept you choose for creating your artworks? Or it's totally fine if you just show us the images and then we can talk about it.
Yes, I would like to show you the images, and then you can understand, because the topics like painting, topics in sculptures are not like that. You can easily say that you will only work in landscape, or you are more inclined towards landscape, or you are inclined towards portrait or figurative paintings, or you are more inclined towards abstract paintings, or things like that. In sculpture, the subject matters are really difficult to evolve with. So there are two approaches in my work. One is that either I start with an idea, or the other is that I start with the material. Sometimes, for example, if I'm making something in clay, I know the limitations of the clay, that what I can make out of it. And when I'm working in any other material, like porcelain clay, or the stoneware, or I'm working in wood, or I'm working in metal, then the approach would be different. And when I work with an idea, then I think about the material. So I can combine more than one materials to convey my idea or my approach. That it's not like, for example, I would again compare it with the painting or a drawing, that you can bring your idea in 6 hours time or 12 hours time max. First you make it, and then you go for the molding and casting, then then it is finalized, finishings, and the ends. Everything takes so much time. So that is also the part of culture. So here I would share with you my can you see the screen? Sana, can you see the screen?
No, you have to share your screen again. You just click the share screen button and then we can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why it has. disconnected with that.
Doesn't matter. Just click the share screen button and then you can see.
Okay. Wait. Dani, wait a minute. I'm just finding a little help.
You can see the green button below your Zoom screen. Just click the.
I cannot find it, somehow. Only your picture is appearing.
All right, then you have to change the view. Go to the view section and then change it. The view section, and then you can see the gallery, immersive, or the full screen, and then you will see all the.
Wait a minute, Sana. Wait a minute. I just need some slight help, maybe. I cannot find that link. I don't know why. Okay, fine. I have found it. Okay, this is the. Now, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay. Screen.
Just click the presentation button. Yeah. Just share it again.
Yes.
You've closed it. Yes.
Then you stay here. Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, this is one of my sculptures. The legs are made in fiberglass, and then synthetic fabric I have used, and this is the real plant, the cactus plant, which I have put together. So all the three materials are different, but its title is accidental, and because while showing it in the exhibition, I wanted to title it as below belt. Somebody stated it above the belt, which actually very sophisticatedly solved my comment, or made it more acceptable. So I adopted it as a title for this sculpture. So this is my another sculpture. In this, you can see the big stool or table kind of furniture piece. This is called elevation. This is a time when I was going through a kind of spiritual journey. One can relate to it or one cannot relate to it, but from the red colors of the balls and the white ball which is lying, whether it is it has popped out of the blue ball, or whether it is going to be down in that. It's very kind of nostalgic feeling for me, because I was going through a transition, and actually, if I recall, my childhood was a kind of very, very pampered and very fairy tale like, but my youth was struggling in a way, and then later on I struggled a lot in life. and it was altogether different. And that is the part of my sculptures. But for the viewer, it is not important what my journey was. It is for the viewer, it is important whether you like this work, or you don't like this work, or you can relate to this, or you cannot relate to this. So this is a combination of, intrinsic and extrinsic feelings, or the environment around us. So this is how I take it. So yes, this is a very interesting one. And this is the social comment which I tried to make, thali ka bengan, because when you are growing and you are moving from teenage to maturity level, like towards 27 years or 26 years, so you see a very quick transition, or the transformation of people whom you came across, because you meet now you are no more the part of only your family, but you are coming out of your house, you're experiencing so many other things. So I found that this attitude was very much a social attitude of the people, and you don't know how they would behave. And I wanted to comment it on that in a double way. So I made this thali.
Can you please tell me what's the size of this work, this artwork, Thali Ka Bengan?
Thali ka bengan is like it's 3 by 2.5. Its width is 3 feet, the thali, and the bangan's height is 2.50 feet.
All right. So what like in the works really reflect your journey as an artist, and also your personal experiences have been reflected in your work in somehow. But what were the main challenges you faced throughout your life or your journey, which has impacted your work as well? Can you please elaborate a little about it, if you want, or if you're comfortable?
I think the field which I have chosen, sculpture. And sculpture is a very challenging and difficult. Even when I opted it as, when I was a student at the National College of Arts, we used to, after foundation, we used to study all the 4 forms of fine arts. They were sculpture, painting, miniature painting, and the printmaking. And out of 4, I found it the most difficult one. I don't know. I always chose the difficult part in my path in my life. I never realized it, but this is how, when the choices came to me, I was like that. And I don't know what was the problem with me. Now I realize it, but it was like that. And it maintained my interest somehow. That I lose my interest in painting after 6 weeks or 8 weeks time. And then same is the case with printmaking and the miniature painting and the oil painting. But although when I opted it as a subject, the history of sculpture student was something like this, that student graduated, and there was no other place where you could study sculpture. Like there were places like Hunar Kata and the Karachi School of Art where people were practicing, but in Lahore, National College of Arts was the only place where you could study the subject. And I don't know, I cannot explain that how I really picked this subject. But of course, it was very challenging. We didn't know how to pursue, in this profession, and how, at that time we did not have like Instagram, Facebook, and so many other things. Now our students tell us that you should put your work over there, and you should publicize your work, and you should come in the limelight. You are not in the limelight, and things like that. But perhaps we were the people who were more into doing things, and I believe that an artist should be more skillful. Without all the gadgets, one should be more skillful. Even if you are doing digital art, after seeing the work, it should touch to the heart of the viewer that this is something different. When you are doing something original, at least you try to do something original. Maybe thought cannot be original, or you can get inspired by somebody, but the thought should be original, and you should do it in your own way. And वो एक शेर है, पता नहीं किसका है, कि बात कहने के अंदाज बदल जाते हैं, वगरना दुनिया में कोई बात नहीं. So I believe in that.
True.
So जो बात आप कह रहे हैं और इस लम्हे कह रहे हैं, वो आपकी है. Or this is the way that what you paint, what you sculpt, what you do is yours.
Yeah.
If you are not trying to become like somebody. And when you when you talk about the commercial aspect, of course, when you are working as an artist, unfortunately, we do not have any support from the government, or we do not have anything on the tax bearers that they can support the artists. What they do, they either give you the commercial projects, and most of the time they don't have sense. Now, again, the time has changed. I am talking about my time, that it was difficult to get the projects, and we had to support ourselves, and I was supporting myself. I did not have any other liability, but I had to earn money to make more art, or to practice. Challenges, and in what profession you will go in the future. Other than teaching, I don't think so that really the sculptors could survive as a sculptor. Other than Shahid Sajjad, I haven't seen anybody who really pursued in that way. Again, things are different, but you cannot run your family or your bread and butter purely and wholly solely on sculpture. So this is still a difficult kind of, but it at the end of the day, when you are doing something for your bread and butter, then you do commercial projects, and you have to compromise on things. But again, in sculpture, I would say that it gives you a grand experience that enhances your work. This is what I think.
Well,
yes, being a female, yes,
please continue.
Yes, being a female, it was more challenging because you have to give break. Parents, parents आपकी ये कह के आपकी जान खा जाते हैं, तुम्हारी शादी करनी है, तुम्हारी शादी करनी है, तुम्हारी शादी करनी है, so वो जो सिंड्रेला हमारी स्टोरी है वो खत्म नहीं होती है हमारी लाइफ में, ठीक है। और फिर पता चलता है कि वो कोई ठीक है, वो बेचारा एक ऑर्डिनरी आदमी होता है, लेकिन वो हमने क्या क्या के सिंड्रेला आपको बना दिया होता है, तो वो हम आम आदमी जो है ना, वो हमें हजम भी नहीं हो रहा होता, और वो बेचारा हमें फिर सिंड्रेला की तरह रख भी नहीं पाता. So this is the dilemma of the life as well. But when we realize these things, this becomes too late, you know. और इतना सारा वक्त गुजर जाता है, और they don't train us, you know, they don't train us in a realistic manner, you know. They don't teach us, जैसे वो हमें कहते हैं कि जी दाल ही आज खानी है, भाई नहीं चिकन खाना, रोज नहीं खाना, या we cannot afford chicken, you have to eat dal. Why they don't tell us about other things in life कि यार ये ऐसे नहीं होता.
See,
You know?
as far as my understanding is, it took more than a decade for our previous generation to understand this, and to also understand your new generation and the requirements and the कह लें ना कि हर एज का एक अलग तकाजा होता है, और वो हर कोई अपने experiences से सीखता है. We are also learning from our experiences. Our parents also learn from their experiences. So it's not like कि हमारा दौर और है, उनका और है. वो experiences, learning experiences तो चलते रह रहे ना. तो कुछ अपनी मिस्टेक से सीखते हैं, और मिस्टेक से सीख के दोबारा नहीं दोहराते. लेकिन वही आपकी वाली बात है, तब तक बात it's too late. But it's never too late to learn. It's never too late to work for yourself with the dedication, without expecting कि मतलब जैसे आपने कहा सिंड्रेला वाली स्टोरी है, तो सिंड्रेला वाली स्टोरी में आप अपने आप को खुद इतना इंडिपेंडेंट कर लेना, so that you don't rely on anybody else. And that's what is the true learning is, of making yourself more independent in a way that you can take your own decisions, right? और उसी में फिर आपको वो जो regret होता है for your parents कि उन्होंने आपको ये मौका नहीं दिया, उन्होंने आपको force किया do this do that, तो that regret आप अपना अपने parents पे वो निकालते हैं जब आपका time आता है, when you have this realization. But what's the point of blaming them or blaming anybody on your decisions or on your कह लें कि जो कह लें कि उसके impacts होते हैं, right? तो उसी के लिए मेरी जहां तक अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, ये सब हमारे लर्निंग के स्टेजेस होते हैं, और हम लर्न करके ही अपने आप को बेहतर और एक ग्रूम्ड पर्सनालिटी बनाते हैं. तो ये अगर ना होते तो शायद हम इस स्टेज पे ना होते. तो मेरी इससे है, तो आई थिंक जो भी होता है हमारे लिए वो लर्निंग ही होती है, whether it's good or bad or negative or positive, but we always groom ourselves through our experiences. So yeah, you're absolutely right. But यहाँ तक कि एक और बात आपने की थी, it was about the transformation, I guess, or transformation, and also about the role of social media, that we get this comment from the people that we don't post our work on Instagram and other social media apps or social platforms. The reason is, it is also the requirement of time that we should do this. It's not that we want to do it. Instagram pe I always got this comment ke na, why don't you post your work on Instagram, why don't you do this. In fact, we have to make a balance कि आप कमर्शियल एस्पेक्ट को भी आप मद्देनजर रखो, लेकिन आप अपनी जो आर्टिस्ट की एज जर्नी है आप उसको कैसे लेके चलते हो, सो दैट एवरीथिंग वर्क्स टुगेदर. सो आई एम आल्सो ट्राइंग टू यूज इंस्टाग्राम ऑफन, लेकिन ये ऐसा हुआ नहीं है बिकॉज वी हैव अदर प्रायोरिटीज. समटाइम्स ऐसा होता है कि हमारी जो मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें होती हैं वो भी मिस हो जाती हैं. बट आई थिंक एंड आई बिलीव दैट सोशल प्लेटफॉर्म्स और ये जो सोशल मीडिया है, they play the most important role in giving recognition to your work now these days. So मैं तो आपको भी और बल्कि तमाम लोगों को यही कहूंगी कि अब हमें थोड़ा सा अपने आप को चेंज करना चाहिए, आपको अब की जनरेशन के मुताबिक. खैर हमारी भी अभी की जनरेशन है, लेकिन हम यंगर जनरेशन के मुताबिक चलने के लिए, बिकॉज वी हैव टू टेक एवरीबॉडी टुगेदर. मतलब तो ये आप really enjoyed your discussion. और इसमें बस ये कि मुझे एक चीज अभी तक आपकी तरफ से नहीं समझ आई कि what exactly inspired you?
Yeah.
आपकी इंस्पिरेशन क्या है? आपने अपने आप को एज अ स्कल्प्टर ही क्यों प्रेजेंट किया, या आपने स्कल्पचर को ही इतना ज्यादा क्यों फोकस किया है कि आप उससे निकल नहीं पा रही? इन फैक्ट दिस क्वेश्चन इंक्वायरी।
ये सना शायद मैं भी नहीं बता सकती, आई कैन नॉट टेल। अब आप किसी चीज की तरफ बहुत ज्यादा इंक्लाइन अगर हो गए हो, वो इतनी मुश्किल भी है, वो लेबोरियस भी है, वो आपको थकाती भी है, और मैं बीच में पेंटिंग्स और ड्राइंग सिर्फ इसलिए कर लेती हूँ कि मुझे लगता है कि ये तो बड़ी जल्दी हो जाती है, देन आई कम बैक टू दिस। वन मोर इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग इज दिस कि कुछ चीजें जो है ना वो मुझे अपनी मदर से मिली हैं। मदर से ये मिली कि एक एस्थेटिक सेंस मिला फ्रॉम माय मदर। और व्हेन आई ग्रेजुएटेड, एक इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी आपको और बता देती हूँ कि व्हेन आई ग्रेजुएटेड ना, तो माय फर्स्ट जॉब वाज एज अ बुटीक डिजाइनर। कैन यू इमेजिन?
Sorry to interrupt you. That Jonas Khan, can you put up your mic, please?
Who?
I have
Jonas Khan.
It's okay, sir. I'm also sending him a message. Ji, please continue.
हाँ, okay. So I started my first job as a boutique designer, and this was something which came to me from my mother, right? And I used to do embroideries. I still, when I become tired and while watching TV or dramas, I still used to do embroidery. And my sisters asked, when you get time to do this, and but that is something which makes me relax, to do something with hands. Perhaps that is the instinct, or that is the inclination, that I want to do something with hands and to involve myself. And after that job, after doing, I was producing 8 designs a month. Actually, I was giving her 16 designs a month. And after 2 months' time, my textile friends said that you are really kicking on our jobs because we don't give more than 4. And what you are doing, But it was, more convenient for me to work on the paper and with the cloth, and I had the whole team with me. But after 2 months' time, again, I realized that no, I have to do sculpture. That is something which everybody is not doing. So I have to go back to that. And otherwise, I felt after doing my thesis that it's a labor kind of work, and it has also affected my feminism, मतलब हम मजदूर बन गए हैं ज्यादा, और गंदे कपड़े भी हो जाते हैं जल्दी, तो ये तो बाकी सब तैयार होके आती हैं और इतनी खूबसूरत भी लगती हैं, और फिर आर्ट भी किया, घर भी चले गए, थीसिस भी हो गया. Why we are like, गंदे मंदे बने फिर रहे हैं, and when somebody will look at our work, only then they will realize, and again, our publicity was less. But despite this, I don't know, that was something, I don't know, Sana. I cannot really say why I'm inclined to that. But that came something from inside.
All right, but I can relate it to your experience with the National College of Arts. If you can elaborate your experience, your personal journey and everything, and your the students you deal with. So what was your experience working with National College of Arts? So I'll relate it myself, don't worry.
As a student or as a teacher?
As a teacher.
As a teacher.
Yeah.
As a teacher, of course, when I graduated, I had the opportunity to, later on, to assess the senior teachers who were my teachers actually. And I really respect them in a way that what I am today, I'm because of my teachers. I had lovely teachers. Some of them are still there. Some whatever temperaments they had, but they actually made me what I am today, There was, a charming person, Salima Hashmi. Then opposite to her was Saeed Akhtar, you know, and he was a very strict teacher, but he gave us so generously, generously. And, you know, and there were Asif Saab in the sculpture department who used to paint as well. And, you know, Madam Talab Dabir was my teacher in the first year. So they all were so inspiring. They were so inspiring, and when I started assisting them, but I could not learn during my you know, student days, and what I overlooked. And when I you know, one thing is more. For example, this is for sure that what I have learned in my life in a hard way, I did not teach it in that hard way. I always gave solutions to my students. I still do that. I don't, you know, I don't make things complicated to them. Some of them might think that I am a strict teacher, but you know, discipline brings the strictness somehow. And sculpture don't leave you to be like, you have to be disciplined in this subject. Because, for example, if you will leave something at the first place, like if you are making something in clay, which you have to mold cast later on, if you have the problem in the clay process, you know, it will stay there forever. So, and there was another teacher as well who actually did not teach me, but he came as a juror. There were two jurors who came in my jury. One was Jamal Shah and the other was Tawfiq Ijaz. Tawfiq Ijaz ki to death ho gayi. He was a set designer, set designer at the you know, Pakistan television. He joined PTV in 1964. So I assisted him as well, and I came to know that he was a teacher of Saeed Akhtar and Madam Salima Hashmi as well, and he belonged to JJ School of Arts. अच्छा, एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात है, मतलब बहुत गर्लिश बात है, लेकिन I want to share here कि मेरे जो दोनों jurors थे, one was the older one and one was the youngest one. दोनों कोई इतने हसीन लोग थे, इतने कोई हसीन लोग थे जिनको ज्यूरी देना इतना मुश्किल हो गया था कि मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही थी कि मैं अपने काम पे बात करूं या मैं उनको देखूं, you know. और I was really inspired by them. वो मतलब पर्सनैलिटीज भी हसीन थी, शक्लो सूरत भी हसीन थी, काम में उनका इतना हसीन था. So it was a bombardment of, you know, beautification. So और फिर उनके जो comments या वो सारा experience था, that was really meaningful for me. And I still remember कि तौफीक इजाज जो बार एक चीज पे, बाकी सब बातें तो खैर हुई होंगी कि क्या काम किया, कैसे किया, क्या था तरीका और सब कुछ, लेकिन एक जो चीज कह रहे थे, वो कह रहे थे कि what you will do next. मुझे लगता है कि what you will do next जो उनका 2 से 3 दफा पूछना था ना, आज जो कुछ मैं कर रही हूँ या रेस्ट ऑफ द लाइफ में जो करती रही ना, ये उन सवालों का शायद मैं जवाब ही ढूंढ रही हूँ. What you will do next. So this is how things work.
You know, I remember आपकी इस बात से ही मुझे याद आया, हमारी एक जूरी में मिस हुमा मुलजी थी. She taught us at BNU. So I was so much like excited to show her my work, and because काफी कह ले कि मेहनत से मैंने काम एक बनाया था, and she also liked that work. But the moment I showed my work to her, she said, "Okay, ये तो हो गया, अब इसके बाद क्या?" And that was an eye-opening for me that you should never stop your journey. ये नहीं है कि आपने एक achievement कर लिया and then just full stop and okay, you are done with it. You have to, like as an artist, आप ये कहते हैं, ये भी आपके एक लर्निंग के तरीके होते हैं. आपको किसी की बात को इंस्पायर कर जाती है, किसी की किसी का कहना कुछ ज्यादा दिल को लग जाता है, तो इस तरह के इवेंट्स भी आपकी लर्निंग जर्नी में बहुत मदद देते हैं. So I agree, and मैं यही कहूँगी कि आप बात ने मुझे उस बात को याद दिलाया. So
जो
wonderful.
यानी इसको हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि जो उस्तादों की उस्तादी है ना वो काम कर जाती है.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
और उसमें I
So
have
other than arts, हमने arts की भी बड़ी बात कर ली, सारा कुछ हमने बहुत ज़्यादा What exactly are your hobbies other than arts, other than like producing artworks or other than making sculptures? What are the other hobbies you are associated?
hobbies का ये है कि when I feel tired, I do doodling. And again, you would say that it is related to art, but I listen music, I like to travel. And traveling can be a walk, a simple walk. It
You
can
like
be
to
anything
spend
like
time
that.
with yourself alone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's not only that I want to spend time with myself, I also want to spend time with people. There was a time, because while doing PhD, you become very alone, very, very alone. Your PhD journey is very isolated one. And after that I did some of the things which were kind of not exactly the social work, but I try to connect to the community. I try to be in the people, because while doing PhD you don't have much people. Now there are few people with whom you can talk. But when I started, we were in the pioneers, and there was hardly anybody to whom we could talk and who could understand our problems and with whom we could share. They were already in problem, so this is how things are. And these are very simple things. I like to watch talk shows. I want to listen, not any particular person, any ordinary thing, any ordinary person can inspire me. Maybe at that time I feel that I'm ordinary and they are special. So this is how things are.
All right. So what are your favorite foods you like to eat?
Foods.
Yeah, food.
Yes,
What is your favorite?
I like steaks, and but I want to eat raw fruit, in a way you can say salads, mixed salads. And actually I cannot eat one food other than steak. I'm a variety in the food.
All right. So
small portions, but with the variety.
But the desi style or the continental or the Chinese, well, which is your like special food you would like to eat at the occasions? Or
I want to have some kebab and tikkas along with Chinese rice and Manchurian.
So it happens sometimes हम अपनी खुद की एक रेसिपी क्रिएट करते हैं ना, मिक्स करके फूड को, तो so that हमारी जब तसल्ली नहीं होती तो we want to have something innovative.
तसल्ली नहीं होती, वैरायटी चाहिए. हाँ, वैरायटी चाहिए, कलर भी चाहिए प्लेट के अंदर, टेस्ट भी चाहिए. I need everything.
अच्छा, tell us something about your future projects you are involved with these days, या फिर आगे आपने क्या सोचा है कि किस तरीके से आपने करना, और आपका जो भी you are teaching at School of Home Economics, right? Home Economics College in
US. Yes.
So what are your future projects attached or associated with the university and also apart from the university? So you're
one ongoing project is that we are working with the British Council right now, जो अभी पीछे उनकी ग्रांट आई थी वो यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ होम इकोनॉमिक्स ने विन की है, और क्योंकि हमें वी हैव अ वेरी गुड लिंकेजेस डिपार्टमेंट एट द यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ होम इकोनॉमिक्स, वो हमें इस तरह की अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉरवर्ड करता रहता है, और फिर आगे से हम अपने रेलिवेंट जो भी प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं उनको परसू कर सकते हैं। सो अभी पहली ग्रांट इंटरनेशनल ग्रांट हमें मिली है जिसके ऊपर भी काम चल रहा है, और एन इंटरनेशनल आर्टिस्ट इज गोइंग टू कम एंड विजिट अस, एंड अ प्रोफेसर फ्रॉम कार्डिफ इज गोइंग टू कम. So we are pursuing with that, other than teaching, and in the future I'm looking forward that I'm going to head the department of sculpture and ceramics as well.
Oh.
And of course that will provide me the more space and opportunity to work in my field. And now I think what I wanted to learn as life is a never-ending story until you die. In the same way, one has to be work continuously. For example, as in life, if you have spent one day and you have planned for another day, in the similar way, you have to do one project, and after ending it, you plan for the next one and you go for that. And sometimes, or most of the time, what happens in my life, that it never went with my way or my planning. It was more with nature's planning. What I planned, I hardly saw that it fulfilled. It ended up in something else. But I realized that what nature has decided for you is also okay, because even you as a person, we don't know our potentials. This is what I can say about myself. Because where I am today, I never thought about it. I could just think about it, or I could dream about it, but I never thought that would be my destiny.
Yeah.
And I was not very passionate about it, but I went along with the opportunity and the time. I just take a decision in a particular situation, and I move and stick to it.
Right.
And I never stop that thing in between. Sometimes it crushes in, or these things pushed back because of something, like you have some other priorities in life or some other responsibilities in life that might be more time taking, or they become more prior to your planning or what you are doing. Then I gave the time to them, and then slowly and steadily pursued what I do.
Right. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. So what exactly is the advice do you give to the audience or to the students you're teaching in the university as well as here to our audience?
I would say that what I have experienced from life, that just to being as a parent or being as a teacher, just facilitate your students. Don't dictate them. Of course, they need guidance. They seek guidance, and give them the space that they come to you to seek guidance instead of dictating them. What I have experienced as a teacher, that most of the teachers, I realized it very, very late, or maybe they were not doing it deliberately, but I realized that they were trying to teach us what they knew. They were only trying to teach us what they only knew. But now I think, or I try, I am successful in that or not, I cannot say that. Only the students with the students who have experience with me, they can tell that I try to become the facilitator. I try to become, and of course, I want to deliver whatever skills I have. I want to communicate to them. But nowadays, I think they are not ready to take it because they have so many gadgets, and they want to go with the easy life. But again, this is my perception. They would have their own, what would you say, reasons behind it, or I don't know. But I will say that go with the life as it is going and experience what you have in your way. Don't think too much about it, and just experience what is coming in your way. And maybe some experience can be bad, but it will give you some kind of new experience or new transition of you. And because I think where you're stuck in life, or what you don't have in life, you stick to that, and that holds you back. For example, I lost my father at the age of 10. Seriously, when I lost my father, I did not have the feeling that I lost my father. Of course, I was unhappy. I cried. We missed him. But as he was in Saudi Arabia, so there was a feeling that he is there. That somehow pacified me. I can talk about myself. I cannot talk about my other siblings. And my mother was really a very brave woman. Now I realize that being a single mother, she really, bared me and sent me to the art college as well and made me an artist, So it must be very difficult for her because there are so liabilities by the societies, and they pulled back, which I could not realize as even as a young girl, that what my mother is going through. And we never realize that what my parents are going through. But one thing, after, I don't know whether what I'm saying is making sense to anyone or not, but I'm just talking what I have experienced, what is closer to my heart. And I think that whatever you do in life, above all, you should be a good human being, or at least you should try to be a good human being. We cannot be good all the times, but despite this, we have to try for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it works. It works, and we don't do it for others. We do it for ourselves. And that, the baggage of negativity, I call it a negative baggage of negativity. We should not carry it, or at least ease ourselves with the negativity behind that.
Well, one thing I want to ask here, as you said in a very disappointed way about the gadgets and the Students Association with the gadgets. So do you feel that the gadgets and this generation and the technology, as we have also discussed in many discussions or sessions, do you think it has this negative impact on artists' journey or in their learning experiences, or what you say, not? Do you think that it has this negative impact overall to their artistic journey, I can say?
First of all, I would say that after your comment, first I have to improve my communication skills more, because you got this impression that I am against technology. I'm not. I think I was among the first 2-3 people at the National College of Arts who learned Corel Draw while doing my thesis. You know, I was supposed to work on my thesis, but I went to learn Corel Draw first, you know, during vacations. क्योंकि वो 500 रुपए में हमें सिखा रहे थे, बाकी सब बाहर 6,000 और 8,000 में सिखा रहे थे, you know. So I support technology in a way कि जो भी नई टेक्नोलॉजी आए उसको सबसे पहले सीख लो, उसके एक्सपर्ट बनो या नहीं बनो वो आपकी चॉइस है, you know. लेकिन आप सबसे पहले उस टेक्नोलॉजी को जरूर लर्न कर लें और आप उसको बिल्कुल पीछे ना छोड़ें, आप वक्त से बिल्कुल पीछे ना रहें, अपने आप को बिल्कुल पीछे ना करें. लेकिन the point is this, what is missing is this.
Exactly,
कि
that's what I want to ask.
जो एक कनेक्शन है ना, देखें, अब मैं अपने पेरेंट्स की बात कर रही हूँ, मैं अपने सिबलिंग्स की बात कर रही हूँ, मैं अपने स्टूडेंट्स की बात कर रही हूँ, ठीक है. बेसिकली आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 3-4 generations, और वो जो 3-4 generations हैं, मुझे लगता है कि उसकी कनेक्टिविटी हमेशा रहनी चाहिए. जैसे I regret कि I was a young girl, और मैं तकरीबन बल्कि मैं तो 30-32 साल की हो गई हुई थी या ज्यादा की हो गई, 35-36 की हो गई हुई थी when my nanny died, you know, and she came from Amritsar and she wanted to go back because उनका नीचे स्कूल होता था, ऊपर घर था. तो जब आखिर में उनको डिमेंशिया भी हो गया बहुत छोटे टाइम के लिए, like for 6 months. तो लेकिन उनसे जब हम कहते हैं ना, बड़ी अम्मी आप हमें बताइए अमृतसर के बारे में, अपने घर के बारे में, डू यू रिमेम्बर दैट, कैन यू बिलीव उनको सारी गलियां, सारे हमसाए, सारी डिटेल्स ऑफ हर हाउस शी रिमेम्बर्ड दैट. और व्हेन शी डाइड आई रियली फेल्ट वेरी रिग्रेटेड कि यार मैं एक दफा उनको ले जाती वहां, काश मैं एक दफा ले जाती, यू नो. In the similar way, आपको ये रिग्रेट्स नहीं होने चाहिए लाइफ के बारे में. और मुझे अब ये लगता है कि उसका फायदा ये होता है जब आप उनकी कहानियां सुनते हैं, उनकी बातें सुनते हैं, तो आपको एक पूरी जनरेशन का एक्सपीरियंस मुफ्त में मिल रहा होता है.
True.
ठीक है. और जब आपके पेरेंट्स नहीं रहते, when I lost my mother as well, तो I remember कि मेरे से ज्यादा मेरा तो बेटा अटैच था, because while doing PhD my mother used to look after him ना. तो can you believe कि 2 साल के लिए हम जाते हैं उनके घर में थे जिनके ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स होते थे, you know. वो लोग समझते थे हम उनको मिलने जा रहे हैं, लेकिन एक्चुअली तो हम वो ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स को मिलने जा रहे होते थे कि वो हमें कहते थे और हम उनको कहते थे अच्छा वो कहाँ है, वो किधर है, you know. तो चीजें जब नहीं रहती हैं उनकी वैल्यू होती है. इन द सिमिलर वे दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इसी तरह जो बड़े भी हैं वो भी अपने टाइम में लिव ना करें, वो भी यंगर जनरेशंस के साथ लिव करें. सो जो एक कम्युनिकेशन है वो उसका गैप नहीं रहना चाहिए. एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात है कि मैंने खैर जिन टीचर्स के साथ असिस्ट किया और पढ़ाया, they were kind of strict teachers, ठीक है, मतलब जलाली भी थे. तो वो जलाल आप में आता है, ना चाहते हुए भी आता है. तो लेकिन ये है कि I tried to control it as I said, लेकिन उसके बावजूद अब अच्छा उसका एक इम्पैक्ट क्या होता था कि आफ्टर 1 semester स्टूडेंट स्टार्टेड सेइंग मी कि मैडम हमें ना फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में आपसे बड़ा डर आता था. तो मैंने कहा अच्छा यार, मतलब चलो मेरी इतनी अचीवमेंट तो हुई कि एक सेमेस्टर में डर आता था, अब दूसरे में उतर गया, तो इसका मतलब है कि अब मेरी वर्किंग जो है वो ठीक जा रही है, you know. तो but what I have found कि what my experience about strict people या जिनके बारे में हम कहते हैं कि उनसे डर आ रहा होता है, हमने most of the time उनसे बात ही नहीं की होती, हम उनके पास कभी गए ही नहीं होते, हमने बस एक इमेजिन कर लिया होता है, हमने उनका एक आइडल बना लिया होता है कि they are like that.
There's always a curiosity in the unknown. ये एक है ना, there is always this curiosity.
Mystery है, fear है, कि क्या है, बल्कि उस्मा भट्टी इज आल्सो माय स्टूडेंट, शी कैन आल्सो कमेंट। और
हाँ, मैं बस इस बात पे ये कमेंट करूंगी कि पहले जब आपसे पढ़ना शुरू किया फर्स्ट ईयर में, तो आप स्टिक, पहला तो वो स्टिक्ट वाला है, लेकिन मुझे बाद में ऐसा लगा, जब आप एनसीए के बाद में, तो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि आप बहुत डिफरेंट है, जैसा मैं आपको वहां पे देखती थी नेशनल कॉलेज ऑफ आर्ट्स में। तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा बाद में आपसे बात करके, तो बड़ी सॉफ्ट, और मुझे ऐसा लगा मैं बहुत सारी चीजें और भी सीख सकती थी शायद, जो मुझे उस वक्त एक खौफ रहता था। तो मतलब एज ए ह्यूमन बीइंग आपसे जब भी बात की तो बड़ा अच्छा लगा, मतलब बड़ी अच्छी नॉलेज मिली और वो सारा। और मैं आपसे ये सवाल करना चाहती हूँ कि पीएचडी में आप क्या रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, एज एन आप स्टूडियो प्रैक्टिस के साथ कर रही हैं या रिसर्च बेस्ड आपकी पीएचडी है?
नहीं उस्मा, मैं आई डिड पीएचडी इन हिस्ट्री ऑफ आर्ट, और टॉपिक उसमें था स्कल्पचर इन पाकिस्तान, अ कंट्रोवर्शियल आर्ट फॉर्म। बिकॉज मैं बेसिकली तो स्कल्पचर ही प्रैक्टिस कर रही थी। इसको मैं जरूर थोड़ा सा एलैबोरेट करना चाहूंगी, बिकॉज जब उस पर काम करना शुरू किया तो एवरीबडी सेड, एक जो कॉमन नोशन होता है कि इस पे क्या करोगी, स्कल्पचर तो इतने हैं ही नहीं, कैसे लिखोगी इसके ऊपर, क्या करोगी क्या नहीं करोगी। और इनिशियली व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड पीएचडी तो मेरा टॉपिक था स्कल्पचर इन पाकिस्तान, पास्ट प्रेजेंट एंड फ्यूचर। और लेटर ऑन इट चेंज, और क्योंकि माय मदर वाज इल और फिर मुझे री रजिस्टर अपने आप को कराना पड़ा, तो फिर टॉपिक भी आपको चेंज करना पड़ता है। लेकिन मैंने उसको चेंज भी किया तो स्कल्पचर में ही रही, लेकिन इट बिकेम मोर क्रिस्प बाय द टाइम। और जो एक कंट्रोवर्सी इसके साथ एसोसिएट की जाती है बिकॉज ऑफ द इस्लामिक स्टेट के तौर पे, तो मुझे लगा कि इसको एड्रेस करने की जरूरत है। लेकिन जब व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन दिस आई रियलाइज कि वही वाली बात है कि कोई डॉक्यूमेंट तो मौजूद नहीं था स्कल्पचर्स के ऊपर भी। लेकिन जब मैंने लिस्ट बनानी शुरू की तो 2011 में मैंने 65 स्कल्पचर्स ढूंढ लिए थे पाकिस्तान में। ठीक है, अब वो 65 जो स्कल्पचर्स थे उनमें से मैंने सिर्फ 13 को उठाया, और एज अ केस स्टडी आई टुक देम इन माय वर्क। वो जो 13 थे उनमें शाहिद सजाद के अलावा, इवन शाहिद सजाद भी used to teach at various institutes, लेकिन एज अ टीचर उन्होंने अपना करियर परसू नहीं किया था। जो 13 के 13 हैं दे वर रिलेटेड टू टीचिंग। बिकॉज एक तो मेरा ये ख्याल है कि जो स्कल्पचर एज अ सब्जेक्ट सर्वाइव किया वो इन टीचर्स की वजह से किया, एज अ सब्जेक्ट या इंस्टीट्यूट में ग्रो हुआ, और फिर वो जिस तरह भी सोसाइटी में स्लोली अभी भी पेनिट्रेट हो रहा है। तो बेसिकली अगर ये लोग वहां ना होते, उस्ताद वहां मौजूद ना होते, तो ये ग्रो ना करता। और स्कल्पचर एज अ सब्जेक्ट जो इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ वो 1930s में हुआ। 1930s का मतलब है कि अगर मैंने 1991 में एनसीए ज्वाइन किया है तो यानी पीछे कोई 61 साल की हिस्ट्री है जो मुझे डिग आउट करनी थी, राइट? क्योंकि पाकिस्तान को फोकस कर रही थी। तो यानी वो जो लोग थे जो रिटायर होने वाले थे, अब मेनली वही लोग थे। सो मुझे लगा कि एक तो एक इनिशियल डॉक्यूमेंट करने की उसको जरूरत है, प्लस सबसे पहले उसको डॉक्यूमेंट किया जाए, डॉक्यूमेंट करके फिर उसके ऊपर मैंने उस पर बात करनी शुरू की, कंट्रोवर्सी पे भी बात करनी शुरू की। लेकिन उसको थॉरली मैंने देखा भी कि अदर एस्पेक्ट्स क्या इससे रिलेटेड है और क्या क्या चीजें हैं जो कि इसके बारे में सोची समझी जाती हैं। एंड एज सना वाज आस्किंग कि मेरे फर्दर प्रोजेक्ट्स क्या हैं। एक तो आई एम वर्किंग फॉर माय एग्जीबिशन। अब देखिए ड्राइंग और पेंटिंग की इकट्ठे एग्जीबिशन होगी या सिर्फ ड्राइंग की, वैसे तो मेरा ख्याल है कि ड्राइंग की पहले होगी। साइमल्टेनियसली आई एम वर्किंग ऑन माय बुक, यही जो मेरी थीसिस बुक होगी, स्कल्पचर इन पाकिस्तान, अ कंट्रोवर्शियल आर्ट फॉर्म, वो मार्केट इंशाल्लाह हो जाएगी फिर। बट चूंकि गैप आ जाता है थीसिस के बाद, तो आपको फिर बुक फॉर्म में उसको ट्रांसफॉर्म करने के लिए कुछ अपडेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन भी डालनी पड़ती है। So lots of things are going on कि यूनिवर्सिटी की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं, ग्रोइंग यूनिवर्सिटी है जो कि अभी 2019 में कॉलेज से ट्रांसफॉर्म हुई है आपके यूनिवर्सिटी में। आगे से उसके आगे से आप अभी वी जस्ट हैव सेकंड सेमेस्टर एंड फोर्थ सेमेस्टर एट द यूनिवर्सिटी, और अब नेक्स्ट नवंबर में फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर हमारे पास मौजूद होगा। सो एक स्ट्रगलिंग सी अभी स्टेट में है हम, तो जहाँ काम भी ज्यादा करना पड़ता है, और बट इट हैज अ वेरी नाइस एनवायरनमेंट बिकॉज यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर आई फील कि जो हमारी सबसे ज्यादा एक ड्राइविंग फोर्स है उस सारे टेंस और बहुत ही ज्यादा जो वर्केहॉलिक एनवायरनमेंट के अंदर, वो हमारी वाइस चांसलर है, और शी इज माशाल्लाह वेरी एनर्जेटिक वुमन। और अगर मैं मतलब मैं अभी तक सोचती थी कि जो मेरा दिल चाहता था मैं किसी एक बंदे को पिन पॉइंट करूं कि इस जैसा मुझे बनना है या इससे मैं इंस्पायर हूँ, तो वो मुझे एक पैकेज किसी में नहीं मिलता था। किसी में मुझे एक क्वालिटी नजर आती थी, किसी में दूसरी, किसी में 2-3 नजर आ जाती थी। बट आई थिंक कि जो डॉक्टर कमल अमीन है, शी इज अ फुल पैकेज। ये मतलब शी इज वेरी इंस्पायरिंग, वेरी डेडिकेटेड, वेरी एनर्जेटिक माशाल्लाह। और अगर मैं कल को कभी उनके जैसी बन सकूं तो आई वुड बी रियली वेरी हैप्पी अबाउट इट। सो दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स आर।
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Munazza, for enlightening and inspiring us with your experiences. And I must say that your energetic way of communication made this session more lively. So, but I would also like to now open this discussion for our participants who are here with us. We have Mr. Aditya Banerjee, Mr. Akhtar Javed, and Ms. Shivani Banerjee, and Mr. Yunus Khan. So if they would like to contribute in this discussion, or if they would like to ask any questions to our guest speaker, so it's up, just please join us. Sir,
Hello, Sana.
Mr. Vani.
Yes, hello, Sana. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Firstly, so you are looking so beautiful.
It's just like you can say the most interesting experience we had in Prague gave this reflection to me, maybe.
Yes, amazing. And hi, Munza. If I pronunciation right your name.
It's Munazza, Munazza. Munazza, yes.
Munza.
But that's
Hi.
okay. But that's okay. Maybe.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Firstly, so nice to meet you. With history
Same here.
background,
Hmm.
I heard about your experience and life. My question to you: how do you see yourself as a history professor? Can you share any project?
In what aspect you want to know about as a history professor? Do you want to know about some particular genre, or just an open question?
As a professor
Hmm.
in history, are you
I could not hear you properly. That as a history professor, as I'm working, is this your question?
Yes. Yes.
You know, it's if you are asking me that I'm teaching history, yes, I'm teaching history. But I think you have something particular in your mind which I could not really read. But you know, I'm teaching history of Eastern art and Western art, whatever is required for our students so far, right? But as a history, purely as a history professor, it's not as archaeologist that I'm really trying to dig out the history. I would like to work more, or I will write more in the contemporary issues, and I amalgamate the practice of art and the experiences of history to explore the contemporary art and the future genres. I hope I somehow answered your question. If not, you feel free to ask another one.
No, thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Shivani. Now I would like to ask Sir Akhtar Javed to join us here, and then we would also welcome other questions if somebody has. In fact, they can also raise their hands during the discussion, and then after Mr. Akhtar Javed, we will proceed to their questions. So, Ji sir.
Ji, thank you. Actually, it was a very nice session. I believe it's why we got late to engage Munazza, because she has given us an excellent view of the art, her sculpture, and her education, and her hobbies, and all these things. But one thing is very clear, that you see, the human beings are in a learning process. Always they are in learning process, right? If you blame someone today, tomorrow you will be appreciating her or him. Okay, so it's a learning process which keeps on going and ongoing. Okay, so definitely there are several issues. There is a generation gap. There is a metropolitan interaction. You see, there's several things. India, we have been, as you were talking about Amritsar, your Nani Amma was from Amritsar. So definitely from India. So we generation one or other way, we are converted one. Okay, so many of us are converted. So what happened? They says they blame us that you don't have any culture. You say you don't have an Islamic culture, neither you are having Indian culture. So our culture is very rich. But what happened to their culture now? If you look at their new generation, they are entirely not those Indians. You see, they are the almost change culture, which is absorbing a lot of international interaction. Okay? So this word is a change. You see, it's a regularly changing the thing. So what you fix for today may not be fit to tomorrow. Okay, so what is fixed on tomorrow may not be fixed on. So the cursing of past is not a good game. Okay, but you can learning from a past is a good game, but cursing a past is not a good game. Okay. So this is what we believe on it, and definitely what I have. You are a very experienced teacher, and you have handling a lot of students, many students. They appreciate you, and they love you definitely. And I was also teacher in NCA Pindi, and also juror in NCA Lahore for product design jury. So for several years, and then but whenever somebody meets a student at that time, who meets away, and he just starts appreciation, giving appreciation. So that was a very good period, and this and all this. So I know it is good for me. You see, it is good for me to, that is encouraging for me, but it is not true in their sense, because they want me to, so they want me to we are happy, okay, in any case. So this is what teacher has to think. So the teacher must not expect any, you say, what should benefit from students and all these things. Okay? So they should must live that they have done their duty. Now it's up to students whether they received or not received, or whether they are doing good or bad or whatever. So the duty must be performed, you see, honestly. So I'm very happy that I have seen a good teacher today. I met a good teacher today. I don't have much questions, and I don't want to put the questions because our motto is that we engage friends and our colleagues, and then we will learn from them, and that's definitely when we learn from them, they must be learning from someone else. You see, in this part. So if someone else they indicate, we can bring that someone else on this program, and we can share together with these things. So all are very welcome on this ICOM Family Forum. And this is for the experts, and the Lahore chapter, that's the Lahore chair, Sana Durrani is working very hard. She is bringing many people, those are the cream of the time. You see, they are coming here and they're speaking and telling us the stories. And before you, there was an Indian lady, that's Reena Diwan. So you will find that interview on YouTube. You see, so before that there was Malia. So Malia Azmi. So Aga Azmi. So this is such good people. Then she also engaged Munazza Hashmi, this Salima Hashmi. Salima Hashmi. She also engaged Salima Hashmi. Salima Hashmi was a keynote speaker. She told about her recent projects, you see, and she also engaged this Dr. David, Oksana David. So yeah. So she is also very experienced lady and very good artist. I have seen a couple of her paintings, and I thought that such an excellent person should not waste her time in administration of a college or university, but that is also necessary. You see. So definitely we have learned from her too, and so we will be doing that. So we welcome everyone on this forum, and please come, and we record this and we will put this on YouTube so that our several participants, they are always busy in some assignments in daytime. So when they got the time free, they will go to that YouTube, and then they watch and they listen to people. So then I will must request you people that you keep the language English. Do not much go into Urdu. Okay, do it, but don't do much that, so that our international participants can understand you and can learn from you people. You see, so their understanding is our appreciation. We all we are Pakistan, so people will say Pakistan. Okay, so Pakistan is so much perfect. So thank you very much indeed. If you have any questions, you can put on.
Thank you so much, Javed Saab, for providing me the opportunity, and I came to know other good people, you know, and it was, really a good experience to know you, and came across Sana and other people around us. So the feelings are mutual, I guess.
Yeah, it's it's very fortunate that Ishfaq Ahmed, that was a writer, a drama writer. He was always blamed that his written dramas are actually written by her wife, Qudsiya Bano.
Acha.
So, so there is one lady, a very friendly lady, that's Shivani. So Shivani, the question is always written by Aditya. So I will ask
No,
Aditya
sir.
to
No,
put
no,
the
sir. This
question.
is my question. No, sir. No. But I would like to say something, sir. But I would like to say something, sir. I wish we will be get together, work in a ma'am does a sculpture project, and so I wish we will be doing together a work with.
Hopefully one day we will meet
Very
together
soon.
at one place.
I think very soon.
Yeah, very soon,
Yes.
very soon.
Yes, because
Hopefully
she is a
very
yes, very pretty woman, and it will, as I know in this platform, and as I heard about ma'am, she's a very in my insight knowledge. I think she's a very sweet and very honeyable person, you know.
हाँ शिवानी इससे ये फायदा ये होता है कि जहाँ
जी।
जो है वो हम लोग सीजनड होते हैं सुन के स्पीकर की बात, ठीक है ना, but it's a presentation, we listen presentation and then we get we share the knowledge with them or her, so we become so knowledgeable people, you see. It's why the time, you see.
Right,
so at the same time, yes, at the same time, your question makes the speaker perfect. So she tried to understand your question and she tried again to understand your question, you see. So she will be, so she will be perfect in reading the psychology of participants, you see. So she will gain.
Definitely, sir. I will do.
Yeah, that's right. So you are in Bombay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So where is Aditya?
Aditya is, I think,
as well as
another room.
Okay. Okay. So
So
I'm here, sir.
hello. Yes. Sana, can you? Yeah. Bye. Hello. How are you? You are
I'm fine, sir.
smart.
How are you? How's everything going?
You are getting smart in Bombay, you see. Bombay is a good place. You see, everyone can get a food and all these things easily. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That is there, sir. In Bombay, you can get anything.
Anything, but very cheap, you see. So that's good place for you. So do you have any question to ask Madam Munazza?
No, sir. Like, I don't have any question. Like, it was lovely to meet her. And and whatever she said about her life and her experience, like, it was good to hear, sir.
Okay. Sana was very anxious. Like, where is Aditya? So I said, I will try to call him.
Thank you so much, sir. I've been here always.
Thank you.
I've been listening
Sana,
to.
over to you, Sana.
Well, thank you so much, Sir Javed, and thank you so much, Ms. Munazza, and thank you, Mr. Aditya and Ms. Shivani, for joining us. In fact, I'm so glad to have you both here because earlier as well, we had a very good discussion after this informal session. So I thought that you also participate in it. And I hope that you have liked our guest speaker here.
Of course, like, it was very beautiful. Like we should have such discussions a lot.
Yeah.
And like it's good that like you brought on such a very beautiful person and from a historical background. So like it's always a pleasure
Thank
to
you.
hear them speak.
So
Like job well done.
thank you. Thanks so much. So do you have any questions or any feedback, or anybody else, like Mr. Yunus is here also with us, if he has any questions he was asking earlier.
Thank you, Sana. आप लोगों ने मुझे दानिश के थ्रू मौका मिला. Danish is my friend. Actually, I am working in a local government as a chief operating officer and managing the affairs of cattle markets. तो आप लोगों को मिलके और आप लोगों को सुन के मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. Particularly मिस मुनज़्ज़ा के जो experiences थे and और उनकी जो लाइफ के मुतालिक, उनके कैरियर के मुतालिक था, दैट वाज वेरी एक्सीलेंट. और मुझे आप लोगों से मिलके बहुत अच्छा लगा. दैट्स बेस्ट फोरम टू इंटरेक्ट. इंशाल्लाह मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि आप लोगों के साथ इंटरेक्ट हूं. इफ यू प्रोवाइड एनी अपॉर्चुनिटी. मैं एक्चुअली आई एम ऑन द वे. मैं ट्रैवलिंग में था तो अच्छी तरीके से आप लोगों को सुन नहीं पाया. जहां तक मैंने सुना है तो मैंने एंजॉय किया. और मैं आपको सना पर्टिकुलरली और जावेद साहब को अप्रिशिएट करता हूँ कि इस तरह के जो इंटरेक्टिव सेशन है दे मस्ट बी अरेंज्ड, और ताकि इससे हम एक दूसरे के एक्सपीरियंसेस से फायदा उठा सकें.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yunus. In fact, we are trying our best to also bring to this platform such people and artists, such an intelligent, interesting artist journey to share with this, with all of you. The whole purpose is to share the knowledge and experiences of each other to learn from. So I always enjoy such sessions, and in fact, for moderating such session is also a very good opportunity for me to learn more about their life journey and their experiences, and then to reflect back. So thank you so much. And back to you, Mr. Aditya. So I hope that in our next session, we will be having a detailed discussion about art and art history, and with a specific topic, which I'm going to give you for sure.
Yes, definitely. Sure. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so very much.
All
Would
right.
love to.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So with this, I think we should now come to the conclusion of this session, that I would now again would like to thank all of you for joining us and for being here and for your valuable input
Always a pleasure.
for this session. And it was wonderful to have you all here and having this conversation with you. And also to Dr. Munazza Rashid, again, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your valuable input. And I look forward to our next interaction soon. So wishing you all the best for your future endeavors, Dr. Munazza. So, and well, have a great evening today, everybody. So I think
yes, wish you the same, and to Dr. Munazza also. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all mine, because I was more feeling like that friends are sitting together and exchanging ideas. You know, it wasn't like something. I was little, feeling little bit alert, and to face the camera and unknown people. There is